Welcome to another edition of Snake Pit. I'm Dr. David J. McDonald, 77 MD Sir, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell for when we upload content. I hope you've been enjoying the last couple of weeks of the Snake Pit. Today I'm joined by the phenomenal Joe Perry and the phenomenal shot rocker himself, Alex Cooper. And we're going to be talking about the Hollywood Vampires. It was supposed to be on tour recently, but had to cancel due to the COVID-19 regulations of the gigs being cancelled to try and prevent the spread of it. But what's it like playing with Johnny Depp? Because Johnny Depp isn't the traditional guitar player, is he? He's a movie type legend, and playing Jack Sparrow and Edward Scissorhands and things like that.
It's the curiosity factor. I think people really want to see, can he really play? And once they see the first three songs, they go, oh, he's a guitar player. You know, he's Johnny Depp, and yeah, he's Jack Sparrow, and he's Edward Scissorhands, and he's all these guys. But right now, he's a Hollywood vampire, and he's not acting. He's just playing guitar like he was a guitar player long before he was an actor, you know. So these two guys, I never see them when they're not playing guitar. You know, I go backstage, and they always have a guitar in their hand, playing something. So, you know, Johnny, when he comes, he's not going up there and acting like a rock star.
No.
He's a rock star.
No, when you go into his house, all you see is guitars.
All you see is music.
You would think he was a musician in a big
You don't see
band.
anything about his movies in the house. It's all about music. You know.
Yeah, I've never met an actor through him, except for like maybe once or twice being on a set with him,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of thing. But I've never met. All his friends are musicians, you know, and that's the vibe. And he's like truly, he is. He's cut from the cloth.
He does have
cloth,
good stories,
you know.
though.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Because we always sit around and say, "Hey, tell us
Yeah.
about blah blah blah." You know,
He's
and he
definitely
goes,
has-
"Oh man, I can't talk about that."
It's another whole world, and he does open up about it. But when he loves playing, man, and that's part of the fun of watching the audience go like from the first song, where to see if it's a novelty or we just have him up there because he is Jack Sparrow. After the third song, man, you can see people accepting him as
After the
as
third
as
song,
an
he's
equal.
already had 4 solos.
Yeah.
You know, these guys trade off solos. He plays one, Joe plays one, he plays one, Joe plays one back. And,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it just, we don't treat him like a movie star at all. He's the guitar player.
Nor does he want it at all. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I think he loves doing it.
But it is
so
funny to watch all the girls looking at this side of the stage.
Yeah.
I understand that. Every once in a while, I go over there just to get a little bit of it. You know, just to get a little bask in the warmth of it, you know. And
Oh, man, it's really a trip, but he really is a great musician.
Yeah.
And when I first
very humble, too.
been a fan of his, you know, since I ever saw his movies and all that shit, and I saw him play guitar in that
Chocolate.
the Chocolate, and I said, man, someday if I ever meet him, I gotta ask him to show me how to play that because he's the real deal. And
Gypsy
sure
jazz.
enough, 15 years later, I
Yeah.
got to meet him,
Yeah.
and you know, I found out just
Well,
the real deal.
With Joe and I don't think there's ever been a time when I didn't think that we would play together at some point, because our backgrounds are exactly the same. We came up at the same time. We came up with the exact same backgrounds. If I said to him, the Animals song, Cheating, he'd go, oh yeah. Or if he said to me, Evil Hearted You, yeah, got it. You know, those reference points are songs that we did in bars when we were 17 years old, 16 years old. So the reference points are really important in this. Train Kept a Rolling, when we said, what version are we going to do? Joe goes, the Yardbirds. And I went, yeah, Yardbirds. You know.
Well, I had to go with that song. So, and now the way we play it, but again, now it sounds like the Vampires.
Yeah,
even though we're putting
it's
it,
kind of our own version now.
using
So.
the format of the Yardbirds, which again was, you know, we all know the story. We know the story. It goes back to the 30s, and
Yeah.
you know, we're just passing it on. But I think that that shows through, and that's what I think is great about it too. Is being in the Vampires, at least from, I don't think we've ever actually talked about it, but you get a chance to be the rock singer that you first started to be, you know, and you can do that, you know, without, you know, I mean, obviously doing Alice Cooper is like, I mean, you're a pioneer in that stuff, but you know, when you take one more step back and you're a garage band, and this gives you a chance to really be the rock singer
fun
that
to
you
do.
are.
Jim Morrison. It's fun to do, you know, bands like Love, and yeah, who else does 7 + 7 is? Not too many bands, you know.
No,
Joe, did you ever meet Jim Morrison?
no, I never did. No, I lived at Alice. When Alice started, just had the means. I'm not sure if you hitchhiked out there, but you made your way to L.A.
Yeah.
and got a chance to hang with so many of those people that were like, you know, by being in Boston, we didn't. I mean, we were fans. We saw a lot of the bands come through, but I never got a chance to have that.
We
was
were in that
really
golden
exciting,
age. We were in that
you
golden
know?
age where all those bands were all in the same place. They were at the Landmark Hotel, or they were at Frank Zappa's house, or they were at, you know, the Whiskey or the thing, and it was no problem to bump into those guys every night. So you got to know them, you know, and I mean, it was really, they invited us to open for them, the Doors did, you know, which was really a cool thing to do for us because we were nobody, you know, and they said, no, you guys open for us. And that was an education right there, you know, watching those guys work. And that's how we learned. We always learn from the guys from you, you know, coming, you know. But every band, that's how every band learns.
And we were all learning then because
Yeah.
we were watching. I mean, we were part of this movement that took this kind of music, which was the marching music, to a whole generation, and not only just finding our way as musicians, but finding our way as part of like what was going on in the culture in the late '60s and early '70s. It was, everybody was pioneering
And if you look
trying
back
new
at those
things.
bands,
And that's why, Alice, you started something that was like no one had ever seen or heard of before.
well, that was something that was needed. Theatrics was needed in rock and roll. But when you look at what a basis for what we did, it was all based on Yardbirds, Chuck Berry. That was our whole foundation, was that. And everybody listened to the Beatles, trying to write melodies like the Beatles. It's just that how are you going to now project it on stage? How are you going to put it out there as your own? You know, you didn't want to sound like the Beatles, but you wanted a taste of that in there. You didn't want to sound like Jeff Beck, but you wanted that taste of that in there. You know.
Exactly, you do want the taste of that kind of fame and enjoyment in there. But we're going to end it there. So thank you to Alex Cooper. Thank you to Joe Perry for stopping by and talking to us. I believe you're going to end us on a song. So over to you guys.
I wish I could swim don't know.